Morning lovely souls, it's Timwhild and happy Friday. It's the end of a very interesting week here, so I'm going to be just giving the kind of the energy lowdown on what I generally feel is happening. It's a beautiful frosty crispy morning here in the south of England, and yeah, UK now has gone into the very kind of widely predicted second lockdown, where the kind of on a 3D surface level we're having the kind of the rollout that we've all been talking about, which is kind of part and parcel of the last part of this year. And what I want to talk about this morning is not so much the kind of like the actual reasons why. I think by now most of us have actually kind of realised what's going on this planet. So I'm not so much wanting to talk about the circumstances, I'm wanting to talk about the players that are creating this scenario, and how we as a massively growing light tribe of warriors, of truth seekers, of light holders, Atlanteans, starseeds, you name it, we're all on the ball now. We're all waking up. I'm hearing so many reports from people kind of in my field who and seen like evidence of it myself, where all of a sudden that friend, that family member, that co-worker, that colleague, that person that we've all been, or those people that we've all been waiting to wake up, all of a sudden they've got it. Okay, the penny has dropped, and they've realised what is going on, and it's all part of the plan. You know, like, well, I said by the end of this year 2 billion people will be awake that weren't awake in January, when at the start of this process rolled out. But at the kind of the both ends of the scale, we've got, you know, at the tip of the pyramid is us, who are leading basically the gold print, or the blueprint, or the gold print for the new golden age, and we're establishing it. We are the foundations of it. Obviously our children will be the future, they will be the future masters, they will be the leaders. But for the time being, we have got the joyous task of being the orchestrators of the transitional window. That's where we are at the moment. But on the scale of opposition, we are still dealing with very much the energy that has been in place since the fall of Atlantis. And when I've done several workshops and videos, and I've spoken about it, I'm not going to energize their name, but there was a group of souls, or one soul who then turned into a group of souls at the end of at the fall of Atlantis, who orchestrated the fall. Originally they worked for the light. They made the wrong decision, or a selfish decision, or several selfish decisions that allowed the darkness into the fit, like what we'd created, the fifth dimensional bubble in golden Atlantis, and the whole thing went downhill with the wind behind it. And as you've heard me probably say in previous videos, there is a very much a reflection on how the end of Atlantis finished to the circumstances that we are experiencing at the moment. They are playing a game that they are very used to, that they're very comfortable with. They're filling roles that they have used for thousands and thousands of years, using methods and techniques of mind control, illusion, coercion that have been basically very successful for a long time. Now, they predicted the global wake up because at the end of the day, we're dealing with people or souls, or a group with high levels of spiritual knowledge, but it's just being, or has been, used for the wrong reason. Now, I want to talk about these people a little bit, because obviously from our standpoint, or the majority of, or the viewpoint of the majority of people, we are regarding them as the enemy, or they are regarded as the enemy. They are the oppressors, they are the tyrants, they are basically responsible for a considerable amount of misery and distortion in the third dimension, which need I remind us we all agreed to in the first place. Okay, every single thing that has occurred on our third dimensional timeline over thousands of years has all been pre-organized lessons that we've all agreed to. So if you look at it from that point of view, we are basically dealing with a group of souls who are I like to look at them like they are almost like paid actors. Okay, say you've got a film, you've got a you say it's your typical, I like action movies, I'm a typical boy, you know what I mean? So you got your typical action movie, and you've got the goodies and you've got the baddies, and the goodies are playing their kind of their stereotypical goodie role, and you've got the baddies who are doing their nefarious world destroying deeds. And it's very much like that. At the end of the film, the kind of both sets of actors, they take off their acting gear, they remove the makeup, and they get out of their roles. Now, if you know what a good actor does for a living, you'll know that they don't just pretend to be something. They embody that persona for a period of time. They become who they are pretending to be. They act, and they put their very heart and their very soul into it. So at some point along the lines, and I call them the group of 9, some of you might perceive them as being more, but it was originally 9 souls that I saw sat around the table who made the decision for the fall of Atlantis. And so that original 9, they became actors. Okay, they agreed to do a role for Source to lay the foundations for the experiences that we have had on this planet and still undergoing at the moment. Now, they have been acting and replaying these roles. You know, they've accumulated karma, they've accumulated many lifetimes, reincarnating and representing themselves in different times, different clothes, different formats, again and again and again, up until the now moment. Okay, now this particular set of actors, they are now the kind of what we would call the NWO, or the puppets, but the puppeteers behind the scenes that we can see in our reality, the politicians, the ones that are kind of rolling out the new ridiculous lockdown scenarios, and basically telling everybody porkies and trying to get us to do what we're told, which isn't happening. But I'm noticing that it's something which is almost could be regarded as enemy patterning, or them and us. And I think it's important, particularly as we're going into the final kind of weeks of this year, to remember who we are, remember who they are, and simply rise above, you know, any of the trigger points that we all have. And believe me, I have them as well. You know, I'm as I've said to you many times before, I'm human. I get triggered by the news, I get triggered by the circumstance, I get triggered by injustice. I want to charge onto the battlefield with my sword. It's what I'm familiar doing with, and it's very much in my makeup. But again and again, I am told, return to center, withdraw from that stream of energy, bring myself into a state of love, and stay there. And if I have to do that 100 times a day, then I have to do it 100 times a day. But it is imperative to retune into that space of love, anchor it, and then start again. So I am looking at these souls as actors who have been playing a very adept. They're very adept at it. They're very good at it. They've been playing the role of baddies for thousands and thousands of years, and they've done it so often and so regularly, and accumulated so much karma and so much fear and so much shadow within their etheric bodies, that they have completely forgotten their source, their origins, where they actually come from. And they're also, and there's another perspective as well, they're also very frightened. Okay, now the people in the state that we're in at the moment, some of you might be feeling powerless, you might be feeling frightened, you might be feeling very oppressed by the circumstances that you can feel coming from, you know, the talk of martial law and the medical interventions and all of these things that we can see kind of playing out on the stage around us. The people that are orchestrating and organising that, this is their, basically it's the same as Custer's last stand. It is their final opportunity to keep the planet that we live on and the process that we are going through in a third dimensional state. Now, if you look at the logic of that, as I've probably explained many times before, the ridiculousness of it is it should speak volumes in itself. I mean, how on earth can you stop a planet from ascending? How can you stop a universal process just by simply rolling out some physicalities, a few kind of spells of, you know, although the kind of the spell of illusion or glamoring that I was explaining about previously in the article has been very successful, and there's still a lot of very glamoured, very kind of closed down people out there at the moment, but that is all lifting. The higher the vibration rises on this planet, the spell just simply it dissolves like dew on a sunny morning sort of thing. It's once the light hits it, the steam starts to rise, and it just simply vaporizes, it disappears. So although every single cell in your body at the moment, or every single chakra, or every single kind of natural instinct might be lighting up very brightly and shouting at you, be afraid, take action, fear, 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 again, as I've said from the start of this year, return to love. There is nothing to fear. Okay, this is our playing field now. Okay, everybody that you can see out there that is attempting to roll out this kind of, like, you know, call it what you like, pandemic or whatever, they are now playing by our rules. Okay, this is our court. We've got the bats, we've got the tennis balls, we've got just about everything, and it is simply a matter of time and vibration. Okay, this is all about energy. This is all about the finalizing the switch from one light source to another. Now, we've got some fairly significant dates coming up. We've got the 11th of November, which is not very far away. I'm running a workshop on that night, and then we've got just the various other dates between now and the 21st of December will simply just be another opportunity to turn the light up another octave and another octave and another octave, until eventually we come to the solstice and we completely switch light sources, and it becomes very bright. Now, when that happens, as long as you and I and all the rest of us working for the light are centered and ready for that light switch, we probably won't even really notice too much about it occurring. But those who are still kind of insisting on hanging on to the old vibration, you know, like they still haven't made the connections or switched over yet, will be pushed very hard. So at the moment it's push, and the actors, you know, going back to our friends the actors who are behind the scenes playing the roles of the baddies, they are becoming increasingly fearful. Now, if you just, you know, like, say for the sake of example now, if you had played a certain role for thousands and thousands of years, and deep within the depths of your soul, you knew it was the wrong thing to do, but you're having a good time, you're enjoying yourself, you know, planetary domination's like your thing, and it's a crack, and so you keep on doing it. But you know what universal law operates. You know how it operates. At some point, you're going to have that opportunity where you stand before the gates and you have your heart weighed for purity, and it's at that point the whole thing comes crashing down, and they're terrified. You know, there's no other way to describe it. The people that are losing the power on this planet at the moment, they're very scared. There has been multiple kind of emissaries of the light saying to them, look, throw in the towel now, hand the keys back, you know, we know why you've been acting, we know why you've been doing this. We are simple, and we will give you the opportunity to return whatever karma you've got in the form of service. And that offer still stands. I know that these videos are viewed by both sides at some point. If you're listening to this at the top of the tree from the other side, then please know that, you know, you will always be treated with love, with reverence, with open arms. You'll be welcomed back to the light. We know that this has all been an operation, and that there has to have been these roles played out in order for it to occur. But that time space is running out now. Okay, we are now coming towards that switch. It's either switch willingly or switch. It's not really. There's no further options. We are going into a fifth dimensional vibration, and it's happening with a velocity that I had no idea, I didn't have any idea at the start of this year, that this year, the 12 months that we are experiencing would happen so quickly, so intensely. And to be perfectly honest with you, all of us have been geared up. We've been trained for it. It's a truly magical, incredible, amazing time. And the best part about it is it's never been achieved anywhere in the cosmos before. If you look at all the planets that have moved from a state of polarity, from 3D, and they've gone through the ascension process like Earth is doing at the moment, this generally happens, this transition happens over thousands or hundreds or thousands of years. We're doing it in 18 to 20 years. It's actually a unique experiment. And the other unique part of the experiment is we've chosen to retain our physicality, exactly like the Atlanteans did. So we are going to be holding, and most of us are already holding, this wonderful fifth dimensional vibration in a physical shell, you know, flesh and blood, the Adam Kadmon blueprint. 2 arms, 2 legs, 1 head, and hopefully, and all of the chakras that go with it. So step back from any of the kind of the fear or the anger that you might be feeling at the moment, although it is righteous, and sometimes the righteous anger, the same kind of, it's almost like the force that you would expect Archangel Michael to intervene with when he does, and he is doing at the moment. At the end of it, make sure that you return to your state of love, okay? Because this is where we need to be by the 21st of December, when this energy is really starting to make it switch over from fear to love, okay? From fear to love at all times. And be there for the people that are going to, you know, I'm seeing so many souls waking up now, and they are in a state of shock. You know, they suddenly realise that what we've experienced has been like this huge illusion. And it's just like, the film The Matrix was so on point. It was so true when Neo woke up, and all of a sudden he's viewing this world. It's like, oh my god, I've been living in a simulation, and you know, all my friends are still asleep and he can still see them. I love that movie, but there's so many films that have kind of predicted the outcomes at the moment. So what we're doing at the moment, or what I'm focusing on very specifically, is lovingly catching the actors as they basically concede defeat, throw in the towel, and instead of sending them this kind of like this rage, this anger, or like, you know, like, I'm coming here, we're coming to get you kind of thing. It's offer them parlay. Say, you know, like, we are here with love to basically welcome you back into the ranks of the light, because that's where they came from in the first place. So I hope you understand what I'm talking about this morning a little bit. I'm looking at the bigger picture. I'm looking at the actors behind the scenes, the stages, the plays, and you know, we have become an incredibly powerful force for the light at this particular moment in time. And the shifts that we are engaging in and that we are creating are shifts from fear to love. So that is my message today. That is what I'm, although I do tend to ramble on a little bit sometimes, I think I've kind of explained how I see this occurring. So hope you all have a lovely end to the week, and wherever you are in the world, and I shall update any further on anything that comes in, and I will see you again on Monday. Lots of love. Bye for now.